Okay. Hey guys, Happy New Year again. How are you? Happy New Year again. And speaking of Happy New Year, we have the best for you. We have Aurorah Yarberry here. She's going to help us get an insight of what 2025 could be looking like for all of you, all of us, all that goes along with all of that. You know what I mean? So this is pretty cool. So we've been, I hope you all had a great 2024. Hope your 2025 is going to be a lot better for you.
I think
all your dreams come true again, and in the event we're not, then that's why we have Aurorah right here, right? So
yes, we're so excited. This is, it couldn't be better timing. We're so appreciative that you are coming on now at the beginning of the year. Yeah, so for those of you that do not know this beautiful woman, let me share a little bit of information. Her name is, as Jay mentioned, Aurorah Yarberry. She's the host of Blood, Moon, Milk Astrology, and also the Daily Dose of Astrology on GnosticTV. Both of her links are right there. She's been studying astrology since Western astrology since 2008. That's a tongue twister. Now she focuses on the lunar astrology as a tool for mindfulness, meditation, and manifestation, also empowering her audience how to live in harmony with the cosmic rhythm. She also shares, this is so much fun, daily astrology insights via her Daily Dose Astrology newsletter, and she provides energy forecasts. Gotta love that, to help readers align with the celestial energies. We're super excited to have her here today. She also does private Zoom sessions, events, corporate astrology consulting, and so much more. Make sure to check out all of her links below. And without further ado, this is an exciting time to be alive. So much is going on. And where do we even begin? What is with 2025? There's so much energy that's going around. People that aren't even really like spiritual, like friends and family, they feel something magnificent is in the air. What are they feeling? Where's it coming from?
Yeah, I think that if you are at all in touch with your energy levels and just even by watching the news, you can kind of start to see and sense that there is change in the air. And this year is an amazing and incredible year to be alive and on this planet, because in 2025, every single planet is changing signs. If you roll back the calendar back to November, we had Pluto moving into Aquarius out of Capricorn, where he'd been since 2008. But this year, in this calendar year, we have every other planet changing signs. And when planets change signs, especially the slower moving outer planets, we experience palpable, tangible change. And we're moving out of a lot of slower moving energy into more rapid paced energy expressions. So that's
for sure
to bring about a lot of rapid fire, just leaps and bounds in terms of jumping up, leveling up, if you will, in terms of our energy bodies, what's going on in society, and things will just feel very quick paced. It'll be like a rapid fire, like just one thing after another the whole year, because all of these planets are moving.
How long will this rapid fire? Is it literally just for 2025, or is this a new cycle that we're going into where everything is moving at Mach speed?
Well, I think we're just in a really interesting time, because as far as I'm aware, and in my research, we have never had one single calendar year or 12-month period from November to November, if you will, where every single planet has changed signs. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of, at least not modern history for sure. So not only did Pluto move into Aquarius, and we're already kind of feeling that zeitgeist shift from major corporate entities being in control. We've felt them kind of grasping for control, if you will, into this shift of the power to the people, a more grassroots up sort of organizing in your own communities, and people even taking their own like vigilante stance out on issues. Like we can look at Luigi Mangione as an example of that Pluto and Aquarius energy, standing up for what they believe the people should have. And so that's just one example of something that I think was exemplary of Pluto and Aquarian energy. But we've got Neptune, who's been in his home sign of Pisces. He is moving into Aries, which is interesting energy and will be a very big shift. We also have Saturn, who's been in Pisces the last couple of years, year and a half or so, finishing up his journey through Pisces, moving into Aries also. So there's going to be a lot of focus on the very beginning of the zodiac, that energy of new beginnings and dreams, kind of waking up, and how to manifest those dreams, those ideals into practical, motivated action. So that's coming in the next couple of months.
How is this affecting people's psyche? I mean, just in general, when the planets are moving right now, are you seeing a trend? Do people need to kind of look at like their thoughts, or is it just opening up more, like you mentioned, manifestations? I mean, what does that look like for us?
I think it's really kind of split down the middle. There are going to be people who are clinging to the past and their comfort zones with every ounce of energy that they can muster, and who are just completely unwilling to accept change. And they're just going to dig in their heels and resist change at all costs until they have no other choice other than to let go and to step into this new energy, which that can set them up for a rough ride.
What if they decide not to? What will happen before you get to the next one? The ones that will, all of us, like
yeah,
us is around here. What happens to the ones that are like, no, not happening?
I think twofold answer, really. Like the people who resist at all costs, the universe will step in at some point and tear everything away that no longer serves them, whether or not they want to let those things go. It will be forced upon them. And then there will just be people who, you know, maybe it's just their journey is finished on this earth and they will be exiting this life. Or there will be some sort of transformation in the way their lives look. That's really just a night and day comparison between their comfort zone, what they're used to, the way things have worked their whole lives, and then moving into a period of more mental stimulation and our thoughts being more powerful than ever.
You know, I want to, while you're with us today, because astrology is such a fascinating, I mean, I know we just go right in because that's what people want to know. They want to go right in. So we went right in. But anyway, but astrology is such a fascinating topic for people. And, you know, I love the fact that there is that science behind it. Can you help us to understand when in the context of astrology, when people are looking at it, are these probabilities, or are these, hey, this is your life about to happen and take it or leave it? Like, how do we interpret that?
So astrology is a study of probability and observation, and looking at where the planets are over a period of time and interaction between those heavenly bodies, and observing what is happening on this planet when things in the sky are doing certain things. And astrologers throughout the ages have kept lists of, well, when Mars is sextile or in harmony with Venus, things just tend to feel better. There's more romance in the air. Finances flourish. The crops flourish, if you will. And people just feel a little bit more aligned and more harmonious. But when these two are in conflict, that's when money troubles happen, where squabbles tend to be more
prominent.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just, there's detailed lists of observations and correlations with planets throughout the ages. And that's really a wealth of knowledge that astrologers lean on to reference and infer what may happen during a given time for a client's chart. We don't always know the specifics. And that's sort of a blind spot of astrology, but by working with a client over time, we can identify themes, and the client can then build their own internal intuition. It's like a muscle. So if they're able to regularly work that muscle out and identify themes that are showing up, and we can look ahead at planetary movements, we can maybe forecast what is likely to happen. And then, you know, we do have free will. We are human beings, and we're blessed with free will and the option to say, yes, I choose to do this, or I reject that course of action. And that is also perfectly acceptable, but being aware of what is likely to develop or occur can help you make a more empowered and informed, conscious decision instead of just reacting. And
I love it because it really helps define, if you're on the fence and you're like, well, I was considering doing this or shifting my career, and you're wobbling and you need stability, mental stability. It gives you a really solid roadmap. You had mentioned something earlier too, that the energy that we're in right now, we can manifest things very, very, very quickly. So I really like to talk about that for a minute, because a lot of people have trouble. They look at other people and they're like, well, how come they can do it, but why am I struggling? What am I doing wrong? How can you help people start to manifest their desires and their dreams now?
Well, I think it's different for every person, because every person's astrology makeup, their natal chart is different. But being able to understand that can help you to identify strengths and areas of opportunities for clients and kind of point those out for people. And then also look at areas of weakness where you say, like, well, okay, this might be a weak spot for you, but let's work together to strengthen it. And to kind of balance things out a little bit more so things flow a little bit more harmoniously. So if you're able to identify those themes, you can work with the client to give them tools that are specifically tailored to them. So for example, the North Node, the lunar nodes, where kind of help define where the eclipses occur, they just shifted on the 12th of January, just a few days ago, from the Libra Aries axis. The South Node was in Libra, North Node was in Aries, back into the Pisces Virgo axis. And so over the next 18 months, people with prominent Pisces and Virgo placements in their natal charts will be going through periods of opportunities and challenges. And we all have those two parts of the chart energies in our charts. So knowing where that falls for you can be key to helping to define what to focus on and how to intuit next moves. But if you do happen to have Pisces or Virgo really prominently in your chart, this is a time to rely on your intuition more and to give up that sense of needing to control things. And that can be very difficult because people like to have tangible facts that they can rely on. And Pisces in the North Node is all about having a sense of faith and cultivating that energetic experience of knowing that things will manifest and work out, and cultivating a confidence in that part of your life.
You know what, I really, getting the chance to talk to you, and this is really big, everybody, because especially as we go into 2025, we have to get, my personal opinion is, we get our shit tight, right? We got our ducks in a row. And I like what you brought up. You actually said something that was pretty profound with astrology. It's really pretty critical that when you take on and get an astrologer that's here to guide you through these, that it's not a one-off kind of scenario, because the planets are changing, the tides are changing, if you would. So kind of like how you would visit your doctor every whatever, or your accountant for your business health, right? Or your financial advisor for whatever, you'd want to visit your astrologer. Can you talk to us about, for someone to really, really get the best advantage of what the stars can offer them, their particular charts, what is the way that they're going to maximize their success, and how often, and all of that?
I like to see clients on a quarterly basis, so about 4 times a year, because that gives us enough time to identify themes, look at transits for the coming quarter, and give some tips and pointers to work with the full moons and the new moons throughout a person's chart to help them set goals and to really identify the energies of planetary retrogrades, for example, and being able to give them a heads up what areas of their life it might impact, and to help them make informed, conscious decisions. And then it also gives people a tool to check in with themselves over those full moons, those new moons. So every 2 weeks we have one of those happening, and that gives people a regular practice. And just even if it's for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, but every 2 weeks to sit with yourself in a meditative state and really consider what it is, these themes are bringing up for them individually, that is how you cultivate a long-term practice and you build that intuitive muscle. And that is guided by the movements of the planets. And not everyone should be an astrologer. It is a very rich, old rabbit hole that you can get
a lot of dedication.
Yes.
And a lot of years of practice.
Yeah. I've been studying since 2008, and I only in the last few years really feel confident enough in my studying and my practice to be able to guide other people.
Fantastic. With all of the celestial shifts that are going on right now and the changes that are occurring literally as we speak, how do you see this benefiting humanity as a whole?
So this kind of goes back to that conversation we were having just a little bit earlier, where there's two kind of schools of thought of people who are either digging their heels in, and we kind of talked about what happens with them, but then there's that other branch of humanity that can lean into this and to say, yes, this is our time to manifest a better society, something that is more equitable and more harmonious, because we live on a beautiful, bountiful planet, and there really is enough here for all of us to live a healthy, safe, protected life where we have the opportunity to explore the things that really light us up. And so leaning into that and saying, okay, yeah, things are going to change, but we are co-creators of that reality, this new earth. I think it's the beginning of a golden age, and we need to approach it with intention and being very focused on what we want to see happen, and letting the things that maybe are loud or distracting or disharmonious, don't give them your attention, don't give them your energy. Focus on the things you can control and that feel aligned. And that's just something that we can all do on an individual level. That's enough. That's
very balanced guidance, which is great. For those that are like a golden age, that sounds awesome. What exactly is a golden age, and how long does it last?
It implies cash.
Stuff, right? Sounds really good. I want to be part of it.
How do you do it?
Well, I think it'll be different for everybody, the way it shows up for them as an individual. But I think we are stepping into a new era where technology will be becoming more available to the masses to help things become easier over time. But again, we have to be intentional about how we use this. This implies that we have a sense of ethical duty and responsibility to the way that we use the technology. And then I think that there's also going to be the way we communicate could change, and the way that our financial sectors have really been going through a revolution. And I think cryptocurrency is one manifestation of that. And I think that the astrology points to more and more decentralized currencies, which means that there could just be a different way that we do business that maybe we don't even quite see yet, like something that's more maybe barter based or something that is just non-traditional.
What about going back to gold and silver?
You mean in terms of like metal trading?
Well, I mean in terms of value, with everything changing and getting back to like grassroots and the value of currencies. How do you think it's going to affect gold and silver, which is real currency?
Yeah, I think that anything that is actually tangible will always have value. And we can see over historical monetary value charts of the prices of gold and silver being traded in commodities markets, the fluctuations. When Mars is in Scorpio, for example, the price of gold tends to go up. And then on the opposite time, when it's in Taurus, it tends to level out a little bit more. And so we can chart these cycles and project when certain things will be more valued. And then also, Uranus has been transiting through the sign of Taurus since 2017, 18. It finally moved into Taurus completely. And that, has really changed the way that we work in terms of the financial sector. A lot more things are done via phones. You can trade stocks on an app that, before that wasn't as common to do that. And so now with Uranus moving into Gemini, I think that's going to shake up the way we communicate and the way we travel and level that up into something that we haven't really fully conceptualized yet.
Well, that's interesting. You mentioned travel. Where are you going with that? What do you see happening?
I think the idea of flying cars might sound sort of fantastical, but I think it could be a real possibility, especially the way that drones have been used over recent years. I think that maybe we could see more commercial flying cars becoming available in the consumer market. And then I think there could be things that we just can't even conceptualize yet. They're just so forward thinking and so futuristic that they seem like science fiction, but it's
so interesting to think about that. I mean, it would make travel fantastic, but you think, geez, people can't even drive on the road without, tragedies. You think about how they would navigate something like that with air traffic control. I mean, it's mind boggling to perceive that, but it's there. You can see that it's moving in that direction for sure.
I mean, between satellite GPS and drone technology and self-driving car technology, I don't see why all these things can't be combined into a consumer-ready product over the course of Uranus moving through Gemini, especially for like short-term kind of or short distance travel. Like if you are just trying to run to the grocery store, you could just plug in the address of your grocery store and maybe zip off and the car can self.
That's true. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I could see maybe that.
It's a sort of more fringy scientific or science fiction kind of possibility, but I think that all of the pieces might exist, and then it's just reconfiguring them into a system that can really change and maybe even moving away from the way we fuel the vehicles could be. We could be leaving fossil fuels behind in lieu of more solar powered technology. You imagine if you're flying, you've got less cloud coverage to worry about. You could probably charge up the car as you zip along if you've got the right kinds of solar cell technology developed. I don't see why that would be completely impossible at this point.
It seems very plausible. I mean, it's already they're being built anyway.
Would you feel comfortable flying yourself above?
The car could fly itself. You wouldn't, you know what I mean?
10 feet.
Have you ever been in a helicopter?
No, I have not.
You jumped out of a plane.
Oh yeah, what am I saying? I have been in it. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but that was like a small prop. It wasn't actually a helicopter.
I ride motorcycles and I've flown in a helicopter before, and a helicopter really reminded me of being on a motorcycle in the air. And like, because it's just so like, it's not like linear, like a plane kind of takes off and has its sort of arc trajectory, where a helicopter can go vertical, it can go side to side. And I think the propeller, the drones kind of have more helicopter-like tendencies to sort of propulse them through the air. So I think that we could potentially be integrating a lot of existing technology into a product that could be coming to market in the next decade or so that maybe helps to negate some of the human operator error.
That'd be good. So you know what, guys, we wanted to bring Aurorah on here because 2025, a lot of people are feeling that this is going to be the most prosperous year of your life, the most defined year for so many of you, health, mind, body, spirit, all the way through. So the importance of having, I want to thank you, Aurorah, for your service too, because I know it takes a lot of discipline to maintain it and do what you're doing. It's not just quick, hey, this is there. So really want to encourage you all to just have a meeting with Aurorah. If you're, in this time that we have, which so many of us are feeling that we are favored, right? It's a golden age, call it, or, the digital currencies are coming our way. So much is happening and we're all aware of that. It's to have someone to help us make those best decisions, I think is critical in this juncture. I do like the fact that you do work with clients every quarter. I think that's a great service. We got your information in there. Is there another way also for people that want to reach out to you, other than we have your Blood Moon Milk right there, obviously they can check you out on Gnostic TV. Anything else that would be good for people to reach out where they can? And also, before they do reach out and have a session with you, what would you like for them to do to be more prepared, to be more successful in that conversation?
Well, people could email me directly if they have questions. It's Aurorah with an H at the end at bloodmoonmilk.com. And I answer emails on a first come, first serve basis. And, you know, sometimes people just have an idea that maybe isn't something I offer on my website. Just reach out. It can't hurt to ask. And
join your newsletter.
Yeah, join the newsletter. The newsletter really is a wonderful service. People love to wake up and read it with their coffee and get a heads up on the energy that's coming their way that day. And then when you become a client, I do a personalized transit report for you for that quarter that is personalized. So it's tailored to you and it's real time every day, the major transits. So you can sit and read that. And that gives you the micro and the macro. So this is what's going on with you personally, and then you in society and what you're observing in the media and in social circles, and gives you kind of both of those perspectives, because we are sort of our own microcosm, if you will, but we are moving in a larger macrocosm. So I provide clients with that. And then I think one thing I really love to make sure new clients especially know is that it's a pretty intense experience to have a first-time session. So I love it when clients can take about 10 to 15 minutes before we hop on our call to get centered. Like maybe like just light a candle, turn some quiet, soothing music off, you know, make a little sanctuary for yourself and close your eyes, maybe write some questions down, things that you are curious about. And then when we spend time together on our Zoom call, you can have a list of things to talk about. You don't feel like you're on the spot. And I do record all of our Zooms and I send a link, so you don't have to take notes. You can just go rewatch the video over and over again until your heart's content. And I also send all first-time clients their natal chart interpretations.
Oh,
so
cool.
They have their chart, their interpretations, and their transits. And then they have all that reading material so that we can just spend time talking, getting to know each other, and understanding personal goals, the things that individual wants to work on, and having a conversation, because that's the real value of getting to spend time with someone who is well practiced and an expert in their field, is really being able to interact with them on a one-on-one basis and having a conversation.
Fantastic.
I love it. Well, everybody, great times ahead of us. Be smart about it. We have Aurorah here to help you in your journey in life. 2025, great year. Much love and success for you, Aurorah. Thank you very much for your service. Thanks for hanging out with us today. So everybody, links will be in the description below. And, just enjoy this experience.
Yes, indeed. Make sure to hit the likes and subscribe. We greatly appreciate and love each and every one of you. And together with Aurorah's help, we are turning the universal key to global harmony and creating a unified world. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, tune in often, tell all your friends, and most importantly, may all your dreams come true. Many blessings.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.